What's happening, people? We're back here once again on CubCamTV for this, another edition of CubReacts. It's Sunday evening. It's a little bit later on. That's why I haven't bothered to get the green screen out. It's a bit of a hassle. It's over there in the corner, but don't worry, it'll be going up again very, very soon. Today, we're here to check out this one from R.A and Giggs, track entitled Grateful. Looking forward to getting into this one. I saw a preview of it on Twitter, a few seconds of a clip. Sounded really, really cool, so I'm excited to get into it off the back of that alone. As always, out to every single one of you supporting the channel. If you aren't already subscribed, please do make sure you go and hit that subscribe button down below. Makes a massive difference, and we're trying to hit that 4K level very, very soon if we can. So keep pushing, and obviously get involved if you are enjoying the content we're putting out there. One thing to remember with this video, there will be a lot of pauses. There are two reasons for that. The first being copyright. YouTube are going crazy on the copywriting right about now, so we have to stop at least every 10 seconds. Otherwise, the video gets flagged. We're not able to keep it online. It gets taken down, and it's all long, and it's just a waste of time. So just be aware there will be a lot of pauses in this video for that reason, first of all. And second of all, this is an analytical reaction breakdown. So we're going to be taking apart the tune in all different types of ways, from the production to the rap performance, from the lyricism as well. So there's going to be a lot of different elements we are breaking down. So if that's not necessarily your thing and you want to take in a reaction video which is a lot more kind of quicker and less analytical, then please do feel free to watch another one. However, if you are enjoying what we're doing, please do stick around. It should be fun. So without further ado, let's get into this one.
Bounty killer, man still in black. Bang this wackle jackal, you think thriller's back.
I really like the kind of plucked, it's kind of like a plucked Asian string. I'm not entirely sure which Asian string it is, but sounding really, really kind of haunting to begin with, to be honest with you. And I'm liking the stuttered flow from R.A to kick us off.
We the hardest in the south, that's still a fact. Big teeth in this dirty Harry, that's still a black. Better get low or stand back.
I think right from the off on this, we can tell this is grisly. The whole approach to it's grisly. The sound of those, as I was saying, those plucked strings, I think R.A.'s quite grisly vocal tone, combined with the sort of stuttered sounding approach, is already giving us a proper, almost like dirty South kind of feel to the composition as a whole. Really liking how this one's kicked off.
Back like a missed call, man rang back. Big pistol, man rang that. Had a hand ting way before the man back.
Just the whole approach to this. Again, lyricism wise, it's quite simple as far as I'm aware, unless loads of stuff's flying over my head. It's quite stuttered, not that many words per bar either, but the attitude behind it and the grisliness of it and the kind of anger in the way he's performing and the way he's projecting kind of makes you pull those screw faces. It makes you do the face as you're listening. This is sounding wicked so far.
Talk about what I back that, clap that, Mac that. Had it in the back of the hatchback. Half my body out the window, slap, slap. Holding the front like you had to snap back.
Whoa! This is cold. The whole approach to this is cold. I'm loving the switch up in flows again there, showcasing an ability to very much switch up the vibe of what he's doing, and adding energy, really high levels of energy to this one.
Rap brother, I chop. I don't just talk about bodies, I catch that. Mama have your head back swinging like a cat flap. Mama pull up and slap that. Mama's drillers before they sack that.
The instrumental behind this as well is adding a lot of dirt just in general. Those subs are really, really powerful, and they're hitting every single frequency that the vocals aren't hitting as well. So the vocals sound super, super clean, but then the general vibe of the instrumental is still very, very piercing. It's very penetrating in the way it comes through speakers and in this case through headphones. So I think it's a very clever piece of production because it's been built by the sound of things to allow R.A.'s vocal to be potent but still have a lot of kind of beef to it at the same time.
Dinners before they had that. I knew killers before all the gang. Talk about the 5-man ran that. Talk about the crime man had that. Talk about the 9 I grabbed that. Putting in teeth like my granddad. Hit the mat underneath the sandbag.
Just the whole twisting of his flow, the syllabic structure, and the energy levels. He's proper. Every single time he goes for a new 4-bar, it just seems to elevate both the energy levels and the complexity of the bar. We were saying earlier on, it was quite stuttered, quite not that many words per bar, but now there's a skippy kind of flow going on with it, and it's just growing and growing and growing in intensity.
We were back. Man buy a watch and they put it on the gram. I buy a box and I put it into grams. If I get a clock and I put it in my hand.
I mean, I don't need to explain what that means, I hope. partly because it's not my life and I'm not going to claim it is, but I mean, just the whole approach of that, again, breaking down, like, some people buy a watch and put it on the gram, me, I buy a box, and just very, very good, sort of almost like a call and respond style of lyricism. He's saying, you do this to that, I do this to this and that. There's a name for it, and I can't remember the name for that type of lyricism, but yeah. A balanced statement, I think, is what it's called.
Might put it in your man. You a little man. If I hit him with a shot, you might cripple, man. For your bread, me a cheese might pickle, man. You ain't never had a toast and it flipping jam.
Do you know what I like about this? It's not trying to be something it's not. This is a gritty, I don't even want to say drill. This is a gritty kind of, essentially, trap tune, but on like a instrumental structure sort of side. I mean, it could even be classed as a grime tune, to be honest with you. The way it's built, there's a lot of elements there that aren't really very drillish, so I wouldn't call this a drill tune. It's more sounding like a grime tune than anything else.
Get so fish, I'm fritter, man. Might pull the bones out, kipper, man. Click, click, click. And I don't eat pork, but I go different hand.
Nice. So I think that's the end of R.A.'s first verse. Very impressed with how he's approached this. Again, high energy levels, good levels of performance. I'm going to be interested to see what Giggs brings to this.
Classic. I feel like this was a classic. This that happened was legendary.
So the video switched up a fair bit now. This almost looks like that room in the Matrix where they've got all the tellies, just without all the tellies. But yeah, we've got Giggs and R.A on a sofa here, almost looking at, like, listening to what seems to be like a breakdown of something. I'm not entirely sure what the breakdown is of, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see it grow.
Me and Donnie to be in the studio together. For me and Donnie to even be in a Ross Club video together with him, his goons.
The video in general as well, just to touch on it briefly, so far most of the kind of imagery that's being used is very kind of blurry, and I think that's on purpose. It's all quite distant. It's all almost like shaky footage and like glitchy footage and stuff, and it's cool. It does actually kind of add to the almost eeriness of everything that's going on.
Me and my goons, and everything's calm. That's legendary. We all should be thankful. We all shouldn't be really talking no shit about it. They should be thankful.
It's quite a nice breakdown in the middle as well, because we're almost seeing, like, this is what happens when the lights are on, but when the lights are off, it's more sort of like a lot more raucous, a lot more kind of in the way they're delivering, and the way that R.A delivered with it. I think it worked very, very nicely. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. I think that the aesthetic of the video is working very, very nicely with the layout of the tune and the performances that are being given.
You wanna be boss, you want it El Chapo. I put man in my madness, I love man in my wacko.
I mean, what more do we expect from Giggs? This is exactly what I thought he was going to do. Come out with, again, his very kind of classic, stripped back, very kind of earthy vocal tones, and just relaxing over the instrumental. Never going too kind of raucous or never kind of losing control. He always seems very in control, Giggs, and I think that's something that people really attach themselves to.
Talking that smoke, got him tobacco. The managers wanna play capo.
I don't know an artist in the world that has the ability that Giggs has to say very few words and stuff still sound incredibly rhythmic. I don't know where this kind of approach came from, but Giggs is really an innovator of that within UK rap, saying very little per line, but it's still having a big, big impact in the way he performs it.
Get inside the garden, I might hit him with a carbon, I might Tivoli a garden, just get him with it. Get him when he's parking.
I think the up and down of those strings in the background as well, those plucks, that melody in the background, it's going up and then down and up and then down, and then you've got the subs which are very consistent below, and there's enough space in the middle, I think, the interesting thing about this, there's enough space frequency-wise for both vocals to sit, and Giggs has a notoriously quite deep voice. R.A.'s kind of more mid-range in the way he sounds, but both of them fit really, really nicely. Again, really nice piece of engineering work.
And I tell you what, the nigga wasn't laughing. Silly with it, bring it off, swinging in the murk. We're gonna hit him where it hurts.
And I think Giggs does this very well, and they've both done it in this tune. They've started off very kind of stripped back in the verses they're bringing, and now on this one, Giggs is starting to add more words per line. It's getting more skippy, more intense, even more rhythmic than it was before, and there's a constant growth about this tune.
And bringing it berserk. You were the realest on the worst. This gift different from the curse. I got the villains at the back. Big H, Millie for a verse. What's So it
Interesting as well. We don't tend to hear Giggs go skippy. He does tend to be quite. He seems to be quite flat syllabically. He's not someone that will kind of go off on sprees like he's doing in this one. He does tend to be a lot more kind of like one sort of syllable at a time. He doesn't tend to essentially blend them the same way like typical grime rappers tend to. So this is quite cool to kind of see him in a different sort of bag rap wise.
thinks he's a rider. Minor, clipping a big tick. Sky that is the decider. Violent Giggs the designer. Lion thinks.
And again, we're getting those very, very classic sounding Giggs ad-libs. Those that we hit, but then they've been a part of what Giggs has been doing, like near enough his entire career, all the way back to kind of talking the hardest, and even before that. That ad-lib is so classic that it almost like certifies it as a Giggs tune.
Tiger, liger, too much talk, that's risky saliva. You could never back for talking clever. Richard Block.
I think the video as well is it's been done quite well because it doesn't look like it's super high budget, but it works with the tune. And this is what I was saying earlier, and I've said it before. I feel a lot of the time people go super super heavy on video budget, and it'll end up something that isn't cohesive to the tune at all. I feel this works quite nicely. It's smoky, it's glitchy. It's not overpacked. There's not too much going on, and I think that's what makes this tune sound good for me.
10 salt and pepper. Bought that lead out slap, that naughty brother. Computer talk, don't compute, ain't my error.
Nice. I like the bar. I think Giggs is giving us a solid performance on this one, to be honest with you. And again, we are breaking this down quite regularly. I said there would be a lot of pauses. Has to be done, I'm afraid. This is the era of YouTube we live in. But again, nice breakdown, nice structure bar-wise. Again, constantly growing. The flow pattern isn't staying the same every time. It is shifting. It is moving. And again, Giggs is a funny one. Sometimes I like Giggs, sometimes I'm just so unimpressed with it, and that's being 100% honest. But I think this, alongside R.A, almost like the cohesion yet the differentiation between the two gives this tune energy.
Gonna get belted, soft use, manimal melted. You do you this, man, but it got dealt with. Manimal selfish, clap. I can't help it.
But you can see as well with the video, we're seeing them both in shot from time to time. There's a general kind of red glow about the video as well, and it's red smoke, so it adds to that kind of smoky feel. And what I'm getting from this is that that feeling of when a club opens quite early on, and you can hear the speakers kind of blowing. You can hear that kind of sort of sound coming through the speakers. And the club's obviously smoky because not that people are in there yet, and obviously they're pumping smoke into the atmosphere. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting off the music video, which is a good vibe for me.
Yeah, man, I get broken up. Yeah, got him a shellfish. Yeah, back to the future, back the machine up, back the computer. Stepped on the scene with madman and move up. Back for the cream, I'm back for the moolah.
Let's go, Giggs, again, exploring different flow patterns, doing things a little bit differently. This is one of the more energetic Giggs performances we've heard in recent times, and I'm here for it, man. I think I'm always someone who likes to see rappers rap and kind of get expressive and get hyperactive. It's something I always like to see, so I'm enjoying this performance from Giggs quite a lot.
And the mood, and that man's a loser, that's an illusion, that's not a shooter. Not entertaining that kind of dude, car he smells crack and that's an abuser. Seattle Gold.
Really nice structure syllabically as well, going up and down. Nice intricate patterns in like almost internal multisyllabic patterns inside each bar. So it's going back and forth. It's going left and right. It's almost like vocal arpeggios, the way he's going up and then back down, then up and then back down. Impressive vocal performance again.
Mostly carrots. All this hate. They're mostly parrots. I just live with Darren.
It's a nice bar, to be fair. I don't know what he's talking about with carrots. That's probably gone straight over my head. All this talk, mostly parrots. Obviously, you're just copying what other people are saying. Nice solid bar, I'd say.
Shopping spree, emptied Harrods. I just beat that pussy, later on she sent me flowers. I just bless these powers, fuck all that, I don't mess with cowards.
Again, he's now gone into a more sort of breathy sounding structure. I think on this might be my favourite Giggs performance in a long time, you know. I really like what he's done with this, and I think, he's been going for a fair while. It seems like he's done around 2 minutes 30 of the tune, and then R.A did the first minute and a half, so it seems a little bit uneven verse-wise, but the comparison between the two works quite nicely.
Messy hours, anytime I got less leave nowers. That nigga's a bitch, and it's best we lower. High up in that messy tower, Peckham, I got SC power.
I think that that sort of flow there reminds me of very, very old school of Giggs, proper back in the day Giggs. And then obviously, I think this is just a good showcase of all the different sort of approaches he's had over the years, more than anything else. I think the tune's about to finish up. There we go, and we get the fade out. So there we go, people. That one has been R.A and Giggs with Grateful. Out to everyone who has watched this video. If you have enjoyed this breakdown, please do make sure you are hitting that subscribe button at the bottom of the page. Obviously, turn notifications on. Leave a comment. Let us know how you're feeling, if you agree or disagree with the analysis we've done on this one. Now, obviously, as a tune, this one's a little bit different from what we have been reviewing, but I would love to hear your opinions on it as well. So the link to the video will be in the description down below. For now, though, people, that's it. That's me for this Sunday done. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, how little is left of it, and we'll see you in the morning. I'm going to be live on Trickstar Radio from 7 till 10, Monday to Friday, so we shall see you then, people. Enjoy your evening, and peace.